The college student went to a client's home for her first massage. However, she was surprised to find the client was a man, not as described. She thought about always massaging women and decided to leave, but the man grabbed her and wouldn't let her go. Then he roughly threw her onto the bed. The next morning, the girl hurriedly left, but the assistant stopped her, offering hush money. He warned her not to have any improper thoughts about men in the future. The girl realized he thought she was in a special profession. Angrily, she tore up the check the assistant handed her. At first, the girl considered that night an accident, but she never imagined she would be pregnant 8 months later. Her parents passed away early, so she wanted to keep the baby, but the high hospital fees made it hard for her, because she sent all her wages to her aunt to buy medicine for her grandmother, and her paycheck wouldn't come until next month. She had no choice but to call her aunt, asking her to send $3,000 right away, but her cousin mocked her cruelly on the phone, telling her not to worry about their money and hanging up. In the end, the girl decided to return to the countryside and have the baby. Just as she was about to submit her resignation at work, the man saw her, and when he noticed her growing belly, he immediately realized the child might be his. He rushed over and grabbed her as she tried to leave. Seeing him, the girl panicked, but she couldn't tell him the child was his. Months earlier, she had seen a woman at work who claimed the man was the father of her child, but the man had beaten her, calling her a liar. The girl feared the same fate, so she lied, saying she was only 6 months pregnant and the child wasn't his. The man was furious, questioning why she took his money to have a baby with someone else. The girl was angry, saying she never took his money, and even if she had a child with someone else, it was none of his business. The man saw her as a loose woman and angrily told her to leave. As she left, she didn't notice her pregnancy report had fallen to the floor. When his parents heard about the child, they were thrilled to meet their daughter-in-law. Since their family had only one heir, this child was a rare opportunity. But the man coldly said the girl was no longer his daughter-in-law. This made his mother extremely angry. She feared he would have no heir to carry on the family line. But the man angrily told her to stop pretending, saying he had a responsibility for the situation, and that she shouldn't set him up with any more questionable women. His mother was confused since she hadn't arranged anything recently. The assistant quickly showed the mother a photo of the girl. When the mother saw it, she realized the man had mistaken her for someone else. The girl, who was hired to help him sleep, had crossed paths with him. Hearing this, the man realized his mistake, but he still thought she was a bad person for taking his money and going to another man. The assistant clarified that the girl didn't take the check he gave her that night. He later investigated and found out she was a professional sleep therapist. Her records also showed she was unmarried. The assistant picked up the fallen pregnancy report. It matched perfectly with the time, showing she was 32 weeks pregnant. When the man saw this, he understood everything was a misunderstanding. He immediately ordered the assistant to search for the girl. Meanwhile, the girl was unaware of any of this. When the man returned to his hometown, he found his grandmother wasn't home. Confused, he was approached by his aunt. She claimed his grandmother had gone to a temple with her old friends and would return in a few days. The girl didn't think much of it, but when she sat down in her grandmother's room, she noticed her grandmother's phone was left behind. At first, she thought her grandmother had forgotten it in her rush, but when she opened it, she saw numerous failed voice messages from her grandmother. She was shocked to find that her monthly wages were being pocketed by her aunt. Her aunt hadn't spent any money on medicine for her grandmother, and